Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to another FPL Jedi show. It's a GW8 deadline stream. We are like 1.5 hours before the deadline. So we are pretty excited to walk through the team news and quotes by manager. Myself is Hafiz, and tonight I'll be accompanied by my co-host Azmin. How's your feeling coming to the deadline of Game Week 8?
Again, for me, it's still the dilemma of Haaland or not to Haaland. So, of course, we have got an additional week because of the game week 8 break, as we discussed during the midweek stream. But it'd be interesting because it's just one more week, and after that, it's the international break. So, you'd expect teams to be playing with their full squad because they're not worried about keeping players fit for the internationals, are they?
Yep. Thank you for reminding us that after Game Week 8, we're going to have like 1 or 2 weeks break for the international fixture. So definitely we want to perform before the break. So we want the green arrow instead of the red arrow. If not, it's going to spoil for the next 1 or 2 weeks. All right. So as we like to remind everyone, it's going to be a reduced game week 8 fixture instead of ten fixture. It's going to be like 7 fixture only for this week. Let's go through what matches that are going to play in game week 8. We're going to start with early kickoff, which is tonight at 3 a.m. There is two matches. There will be two matches played tonight: Aston Villa versus Southampton and Forest versus Fulham. So a lot of managers are interested on these teams, especially on Fulham. Then tomorrow on Saturday, early kickoff 7:30 p.m. Wolves versus the informed Man City, and then 10 p.m. Newcastle going to welcome Bournemouth to their turf. So Newcastle could continue their good run also. And then on Saturday night, midnight, Spurs versus Leicester. A lot of managers will expect a big scoreline, Spurs versus Leicester. But if you're on wildcard, you might not have any Spurs asset. Then on Sunday, 7 p.m., Brentford versus Arsenal. The time of the kickoff has been pushed earlier, and then Everton versus West Ham at 9:15 p.m. So those are the seven matches. Um, so what do you think about Game Week 8 fixture? Um, what do you
Well,
expect?
Firstly, it's just the short period because of the reduced number of matches. Friday night, the first match, and ends before midnight in Malaysia on Sunday. So enough rest for us to get back to work while and still being able to watch all matches. Okay,
All right.
so in terms of matches, so obviously some big names, or rather, Chelsea, Liverpool are not in the mix, and obviously we have two or even three players from Liverpool, even though they have not been performing that well. Um, so it becomes a big issue for those as in what to do with them. So we've seen a lot, we've seen a lot in Facebook, in Twitter, in terms of how people are dealing with. Some are even activating the wild card for this week because there's just too few players playing. So totally understandable. So the question is, how many players do you need to be less fielding for you to not how many players are you fielding? Are you playing enough players to not have to activate your wild card? So a lot of theories on that. So I know if we want to discuss it now or later,
Okay.
but
All right.
but
Good.
otherwise, yeah, otherwise there's still a lot of interesting matches there. You think that Newcastle Bournemouth one, with the Bournemouth are continue to be the um what's the what's the analogy? Bullied, the ones who are get bullied by other teams. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and we do know because although Manchester City are really doing well, but they did draw against Villa the last time out. So it'll be you but of course the thing is Pep Guardiola would expect an immediate reaction the week after, but then the week after ended up being blank. So whatever emotions there were from not securing your 3 points, that's dissipated by now.
All right. Good. Man City definitely on high flying after they win in midweek Champions League. Haaland did score again, so yeah, he's really on form, and I don't think we can go without him, especially this week against Wolves. But that is another discussion. We would like to welcome SK to the stream.
Hey,
Yes, fellas,
SK.
how are you? So hopefully you have finalized your wildcard. Okay, I can see your stating your wildcard, but we'll run through your question later. Okay, let's go to the team news. But spoiler, Azmin already made his move, but I haven't, and I could do a live stream transfer after this. Let's go jump into the first match, man, which is Villa versus Southampton. What's the current news for both teams?
Okay, so on Southampton, okay, let's just quickly with Southampton. Southampton, not much changes. It's just that, last year's popular pick cheap budget defender Livramento is still out, so nothing. Otherwise, is it's same old there. Um, a question of whether Stuart Armstrong might get a chance in the starting lineup, but it does look unlikely given Southampton's decent performance so far. Okay, so but Aston Villa is a bit more tricky. Okay, firstly, Watkins apparently he was ill earlier in the week, so so we don't know he'll start. If he doesn't, then of course Ings will play it. However, this means there's a good chance that Bailey will return, still be in the starting lineup. Question mark again whether Coutinho will play or Buendia, but um, I don't know. Gerard's preference for Coutinho is still quite there, so he may still be there. So Martinez could come back. He missed training on Thursday. Yeah, but he could recover. We don't know based on the press conference. But Matty Cash looks like he's out. So
Yep.
so it's quite significant actually because Matty Cash is out. So most likely Ashley Young will step in, and Ashley Young isn't exactly a spring chicken. So so I think Southampton. To be fair, Southampton don't really have real big pace either, but you know Cash is one of the more dependable players. Other than that, Bednarek, who is actually a Southampton player on loan at Villa, but so he's not gonna get any chance to play
Yep. Yep.
either. So that's it for so it's a bit tricky because Villa. It looks like Villa's affected a bit more. So Martinez seems to be recovering, but
Okay.
illness is a different thing than injury. So whether or not he will start, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. We can see there Bailey is in the predicted lineup. If he
Mm.
starts, then people will entice to take him, especially on wildcard. And he's actually now at 4.7. So cheap enough to bench
Mm.
him.
And they are this is the early match, so I don't know if you guys up to staying up until 1:30 to see whether or not you get any news and holding off your transfers until then. So yeah, if you do, well, good luck.
Yep. So this Aston Villa versus Southampton could be a tight match, but should we expect Villa win?
No, I'm expecting a Southampton win. Yeah,
Ooh.
I think Villa's just going to lose again, and
Hmm.
it's going to look really dire for Gerrard.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next team, which is Forest versus Fulham. Top manager is going to bring in Mitrovic, but is this a straightforward game? In I'm not sure. What's the
Okay,
latest news?
so Forest have been on a well, uh, terrible. Okay, so they lost 6-0 against Forest, and then in game week 6 they fought Bournemouth. So Bournemouth's at the bottom, but Bournemouth managed to win 3-2. Um, at Forest too. So it's not looking good for Forest. So now and that was against promoted between two promoted sides. So now the third promoted side, which is Fulham, comes into play. So there's the fact that there's so many people transferring Mitrovic tells you what people think. However, one you just can't discount Forest with Henderson there. So so we'll see how we go. But it does look like Fulham have the advantage right now. So okay, so let's talk a bit about injuries. So on the Fulham side, no one difficult except for Anthony Robinson. So he's a left back. So he's he might be out. So they did have
Hmm.
new signings. What's his name?
I don't know.
Ku,
He wrote
Ku,
the Kuzawa. Maybe he's
Kuzawa,
the.
yeah, that's one. So he came in on deadline day. So but now it's been what 17 days now. So he may actually be ready to replace. Yeah. So
Mhm.
if he doesn't, then unfortunately they don't have any proper left backs there. So I can't really say. But whoever it is, it won't look good for. It will leave it will leave Fulham a bit open. So as for Nottingham Forest, yeah. So with the current strain of losses there, so um we who knows what the manager is going to do, what Steve Cooper is going to do, because he, you know how many players they've picked up this season, Hafiz? Are you able to
How much
venture a
signing
guess?
type? How much signing? I think it's a lot, more than 10.
They've signed 22 people. So so in terms of the lineup, other than Henderson, who I feel is, you can't. There's no way of displacing. Everyone else could change. So you wouldn't want to pick up anyone, even Johnson, who has been decent, because you got someone like Dennis there in the back, and we know how Dennis has been. He was one of the few players for Watford who could explode. So
Mhm.
so who knows what that starting lineup, but it's I would say it's a draw, 1-1, with Henderson again playing out of his skin to save the match for Forest.
Yeah. Can see a lot of prediction Fulham win this easily, like 3-1, 2-0. But I still feel, I can
Yep,
sense this match could be like Forest versus West Ham last time, where West Ham have plenty of chances, but Forest can take advantage. They keep it calm
yep.
and score the necessary goal, and they really need wins. So, I don't think it's a straightforward. It could be like the draw you mentioned, and
Yep.
like I guess a lot of managers expect that Mitrovic could again return goals, but it could be. But I think I feel it's going to be a tighter match than people are expecting.
Uh, excuse me.
Okay,
Okay.
let's get to the next match, which is Wolves versus Man City. We know Man City play in the midweek game, and Haaland starts. If not, ends the game with 90 minutes. So I'm not sure what's the latest news for both teams.
Right. So with Wolves, apparently Jimenez is tired, so he's not going to play. So I'm not sure what Lag's up to, but yeah, I mean, if he says that, then definitely you won't see Jimenez on. However, let's see with the Diego Costa, he of former Chelsea bad boy, Chelsea's bad boy, and Atletico, former Atletico as well. Whether he'll come in, it'd be interesting to see, and whether he can gel with the side. Um, but of course, picking him up, yeah, for FPL purposes, probably not. You probably want to stick with someone like Neto, and if you're going to punt, maybe Guedes. But yeah, not until we see how Diego Costa is. He's in the, I know, 33, 34 something right now. So who knows what his impact will be. Having said that, let's remember that they do face Manchester City as well. So, if Diego Costa wants to be there to rub the wrong rub, to get
Yep.
in Manchester City's faces, yeah, then he's the one to do it. We want to disrupt their concentration, then yeah, he's gonna
Mhm.
want to do it. So for Pep's mentioned that for City, that that Kyle Walker isn't likely to be ready. Yeah, he
Okay.
said he's unsure, so that points to a no. So you got Gomez coming in, but really in terms of FPL picks, it really is just Cancelo there at the defense, isn't it? So other
Yeah.
than that, we got Haaland. So Hafiz pointed out to me in midweek that Foden did not start the Champions League game, so it's quite a big chance that Foden will come in, which might be of interest for, especially for those of you who have the wild card,
Yep.
who've activated the wild card. Having said that, the week before was pretty much a rest, so if everyone's fit, Pep Guardiola could still use an unchanged team from the Champions League game. So it is a risk. Yeah, it is a risk, but it's a risk that you'll just have to see how and if you risk it. But otherwise, a lot of people who are now have funds for with Salah with Liverpool not playing. So, but if you look at on the price to price range, if you want a premium asset like for like, Salah just becomes KDB.
Yep.
So, yep. So that's the it is. But of course, we know that Wolves have been defending quite decently, but against City, well, to be fair, City were locked down by Villa in game week 6. So can Wolves
Mhm.
do the same? So that's the question that you guys need to decide what the answer is. In my humble opinion, I think Wolves under Lager can slow down City, but I think that City can will still win. It may not be a one of those Bournemouth thrashings type, but maybe 1-2 to
Let
City.
me refresh your mind, Azmin. Last
Yeah,
year, okay,
yeah,
KDB scored 4 goals and
against Wolves,
it's
right?
against Wolves. So,
Yeah.
and KDB, spoiler, he's the second most transfer in this week. As we mentioned, Liverpool players, Chelsea players are not playing this week. So, Man City players are heavily invested in terms of wildcard team. Okay, so KDB, one of the interested players that people are bringing in. And if let's say you don't wildcard, he could actually potentially be in your team by replacing Salah with him. He has a good record last year against Wolves, so I would like to remind that. But like Azman mentioned, okay, Mahrez and Grealish actually starts in midweek Champions League. They've been substituted out around 60 minutes for Bernardo Silva and Foden. And we can see Silva and Foden in the predicted lineup to start. So maybe those are the players that, if let's say you want to invest other than KDB, if you can't reach to that budget, Silva and Foden could be another options, man. Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a shocker if we see KDB getting benched though? Oh, that
Oh,
will
that
rock the
be
FPL world.
that be
Yeah,
really
yeah.
really
Well, for
interesting.
me, no less of an impact because I already have KDB. It'll just be a frustrating day, another frustrating day for me, given my rank, which is 100 times more than your rank at the moment.
Mm,
So
yeah,
yeah.
but
Okay.
still, I
So
still early days. Yep.
yeah. Still good.
Okay,
Still.
we Kyle Walker are not expecting to be ready with game week 8. Cancelo will start on the right side, we believe, and Gomez on the left side. And as I read somewhere on in terms of stats, Cancelo are better in term on attacking output on the right side instead of the left side. So this could be a good news, especially you're keeping or getting in Cancelo in your team. Okay, next one, another team that managers are looking in. Newcastle assets mean against Bournemouth. So what's latest news from Eddie Howe? Any hint on the likes of ASM, Wilson, and so on?
So okay, so how just talking about how they've improved, but short of saying that they're actually fit to play. However, the those who've attended training grounds say they've seen Gomares at least training on the grass, so to speak. Yeah, but not Wilson and ASMs, which kind of implies that they're not gonna be ready for this week. But you got Isaac coming in, and Ryan Fraser, who does well when he plays instead of ASM, so he has a decent chance of starting there. So at the back there is the same Trippier, Shah, Botman, and Target. So which means that with Botman coming in, who's that guy they bought from Brighton? Dan Burn.
Dan Burn.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not there
it's
anymore, is it?
it's a shame,
Mm.
yeah, because he did do well after one of those
Yep.
January transfers. It
Yep.
se- it seems like the January transfers are getting wasted, except for Gumares. So if Gumares does play, it'll be in place of Longstaff, I would think. Okay, so Bournemouth is, sadly David Brooke has, he had another setback, which is sad, considering his history and his cancer issues. Solanke should be, will be up front, but then, Stanislas, I don't know whether or not
Stanislas,
he'll
yeah.
get a chance at also being in the, somewhere in the attack, maybe supporting Solanke, because Billing is just isn't right there. So but it's definitely a Newcastle. You would, and Newcastle to win, and you would see that when the perception by FPL managers is that, who are wild carding, they're tripling up on Newcastle
Yep,
assets, which
yep,
is usually the most popular I've seen is Pope, Trippier, and Isaac.
yep, yep. No surprise there. So I guess looking at this team news, so unsure about ASM and Gomes going to start. So I feel if you're investing on Newcastle, like Azmin mentioned, three personnel that you should get in early. Trippier, I think Trippier is number one. Then you can consider Pope as number two, and I said because when talking about from season managers mentioned Pope or Newcastle itself has a very good run after starting this week and after into the international break. Newcastle has the more chances of keeping clean sheet. Pope in bonus point, save point. So even his price has risen up to 5.2. So looks like if you want that 5 million bracket of keeper, I think Pope is the one right now. People are ignoring Ramsdale. Who else? Mendy and the rest like Edison, Ellison is much
Mm.
higher price. So I think Pope is the one right now, man.
Yep, yep. Pope, yeah. I mean, under with Newcastle, he's definitely a good, or another Burnley, Exodus guy, part of the Burnley Exodus, and
Yeah.
he can do well with Newcastle, definitely.
We are expecting big scoreline against Bournemouth. A lot prediction of like 3-0, 4-0.
That's the community speaking there. Yes, when they all tripling up, you would expect three or 4-0. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
However, I would, don't. The thing is, a lot of people don't think aren't picking up Ryan Fraser. He's a big dark horse for this week, but he may not be a long term pick. But then it might be okay because actually now that I think of it, was Ryan Fraser a better option simply because after the
Mm.
week after, I think a lot of people are already wild carding. So a 1 week punt on Ryan Fraser could actually pay off.
Yep, 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 yep. I agree. 5.3. Okay. Um, Next, we go to Spurs versus Leicester. I
Huh?
think this could be a crucial match, especially for Leicester, who have been in really bad run. They are at the bottom of the league, 5 loss, 1 draw only. And on the different side, Spurs are high flying right now. They are at third place in the table, 4 win and 2 draw, no loss on the contest side. So, what's the latest news for both teams?
So the question with Spurs is Son going to start, isn't it?
Yeah,
So you so
that's what people are talking. He might not start, but I'm not too sure. I mean,
yeah, it's a tough one, because um it's not about it's not about fatigue. I think he's just not been in form. There's a simple reason, he's not been in form. So of course, when you look at the what was it that Conte said something about no player is undroppable. Yeah, there you go.
mm.
Yeah, so in his before his Thursday match, he had the conference. So we don't have time for another conference, press conference. Yeah, so if that's the case, I wouldn't be surprised. Is um Sun Hyung-min
So
could be
in
dropped.
midweek, Sun been substituted around 70 plus minutes for
Yep,
Kulusevski. Kulusevski did
yep,
not start. Richarlison and Kane start the whole game.
yep.
Are we expecting maybe Richardson that gonna be dropped and Sun and Kulusevski start? But we are
No,
not too
I,
sure.
I honestly see Richarlison and Kulusevski starting because
Hmm.
it's just that Sun needs to come in as an impact player and make an impact, and then before he becomes, I think
Okay.
Conte needs to be a bit careful with this one.
Yep.
But this, once they're if they're comfortably winning against Leicester, then they can bring Son in to see, to try to get his confidence back, and and with them already winning, if he can score one goal, that would be good.
Yep. Leicester side, man.
Okay, so Leicester side, so we know that what's his name, Vardy is back again. So so the question is whether he'll jump back straight into, despite the fact that Leicester did perform well better last a few weeks back with Daka and Ihia Nacho up front. But of course, most of the predictions are saying that Vardy's gonna get the starting lineup again. And the question is, with both Madison and Barnes will support him or not? Yeah, so it
Mhm.
all depends on um, how they do. So it'd be a shame if Daka doesn't get a starting, but it's Rogers, and it's the Rogers Vardy guy. But regardless, coming back to the problem with Leicester, even with most of the players fit, they aren't doing well either, and now they're gonna play at London at the Spurs Stadium. I I do f- I expect another trashing, and you'll see why, and you'll see how I've thought about that and how it's affected my
Yep.
FPL
Yep.
team.
Just quickly touch a bit on Spurs lineup again. Perisic is in the predicted lineup, even though he actually starts he plays 90 minutes in midweek. What's your feeling on Perisic?
Oh, but he's doing well, so that's the thing. And I don't know, has Matt Doherty just vanished off the face of the planet? Um, I think Conte did mention him. Um, did he mention him? No, he did mention him in the. Oh, there you go. Don't we had players like Matt Doherty that had a serious injury, and I said in the past he's struggling a bit to come back as the player that I knew last season. So that kind of implies that he's not going to play. Which means that
Royal.
Emerson Royale will continue to start instead of Doherty. So there you go.
Okay.
But again, as you say, the biggest thing is Richarlison lah. Richarlison, and I can't see with if Sun continues, a Sun gets to start again. I just don't see it. I think Conte is not that loyal enough to keep Sun in. At the start, why not bring him in when Spurs are winning? Try to get him to score a goal to boost his confidence without
Yep.
affecting the match.
Ada. Lot manager also thinking Perisic in the wildcard draft. So if he starts this game and produce double digit points, kudos to you all. But there's still a doubt. Maybe Sessegnon starts. Maybe Perisic start on the right side. I'm not too sure. I can tell you, it's a risk, but it's a high side risk. Means that you can actually be getting a really get paid off by putting Perisic in your team, especially
Yeah.
on wildcard. Just a quick touch, man. Eric Dyer has been called up to the England squad. It's like 2 years that he has not involved in international duty. He has been called up, and Conte did mention he deserves that place, and hopefully he can continue this good performance. I just want to give a shout for Dyer.
Yeah.
Next, London Derby, Brentford versus Arsenal. We expect a tough match between those two. So, what's the latest news for both teams?
Right. So for okay, Arsenal, Mikel Arteta's been being the tight-lipped person that he is again, and not wanting to disclose much, by just saying that, oh, because his last training session is tomorrow or today rather, so he doesn't have anything to he's not sure yet, but um news from the Ukrainian FA, which, as mentioned in the tweet, is probably this is the type of tweet that kind of uh, thing that annoys Premier League managers. Especially when you have got Arteta trying to not disclose exactly what's going on. But now, oh, there goes Zinchenko. So Zinchenko's out. So obviously Tierney comes in. So of course, the main thing is that it looks like Partey could start, and if Partey could start, that's going to be good for Arsenal, both defensive and offensive wise, because he's quite a critical link to the attacking players. And we know that last season he has scored a few goals himself, so not so bad for a holding midfielder. So in Brentford, not much difference except that Canas is available, but then it's hard to see him displacing anyone just yet. Yeah, Tony back, and who's a popular FPL asset. I have him, and he's got called up for England, uh, and to earn his first cap. And so the question is he gonna celebrate? Yeah, so you got to
Mm.
think that out, guys. Yeah, especially those on the wild card. Tony, Tony, Tony. Even though it's Arsenal, yes, yeah, but Arsenal have conceded. They aren't as stable as we thought they were at the start. So, but of course, of course, with Party back, maybe I'll just get a lot of defense. So it's going to be tough game, this one. London, kind of
Yep,
London derby from two sides of London, and I don't know. It's a tough one to call, this one.
yep. Some predicted Arsenal going to win this, but some also predict that it's going to be a 1-1 draw or a draw. At least Tony should be on really high morale after being picked in England squad. Arsenal should be well rested since they did not play in midweek
Mm.
Europa League because of the postponement. So I feel both team are ready for this week, and I'm looking forward for this game.
Should be a good matchup. Yeah, I
Yep,
think
yep,
it's going
yep.
to be exciting.
I got Jesus and Martinelli, and I got Raya on the other side. So I'm not sure who I'm going to cheer for this. Really. Okay.
uh, that's funny.
Last game for game week 8, Everton versus West Ham. West Ham did play in Europa Conference League match. They did win 3-2. So what latest news for both teams?
DCL almost sure, whatever, dude. Don't trust him. That's not gonna make a change, not gonna make a difference. So, I think it's gonna be pretty much with Gordon, and with Mope around to replace DCL. So Mope definitely is going to be there and try to show why he deserves to stay in the lineup. Of course, he's up against an English guy with an English manager. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to be, not territorial, but then that it does happen. So, and you know, with when managers are loyal. But anyway, so I mean I have to admit being mistaken about Everton. I thought they would just collapse in the past few weeks, and they didn't, because I thought the defense was rubbish, but apparently the defense has improved with the additions of uh Cody and now Tarkowski and Cody. So it kind of reflects how bad the Everton team were last week, and now they've even with Begovic as well.
Yeah,
So
Pickford injured. He's
yeah,
out for Bogovic. You're
yeah.
worried?
So that's the question of whether or not Begovic can carry on with the improvement that we've seen from Everton. But Cody Tarkowski there is certainly a step up from the people previously. You got previously, I think it was Mina and Holgate, and gosh, Mina isn't is quite error prone, and Holgate he's a tempestuous young guy, isn't he? He keeps getting sent off. But yeah, Everton look good these days, especially in defense. Okay, so from the West Ham side, yeah, so a lot of people who are on wild cards this week are thinking, is West Ham gonna turn the corner? And if so, is last year's star player Bowen going to finally step up again? So who knows? Again, they had a midweek match,
Yeah.
like Spurs, yeah, like the so it's a question of whether there'll be any extra fatigue. Although David Moyes did say there were no fresh concerns, so we'll see. but there's I read an article somewhere about West Ham having a lot of old players, and it's
Mhm.
when I read it, I also it made me think, oh, gosh, you got Fabianski, Cresswell, Antonio, even Lanzini. So they're kind of quite important, Fabianski, Cresswell, and Antonio. But then they're also old. They're slowing down, and gosh, Antonio, you can see last season he just couldn't return to the his heights of the previous season, and but there he is again. He's still up there. So it's tough. So this is another match to call, because earlier on I kept talking how strong Everton's defenses were, but their attack is still weak, whereas West Ham have an potentially explosive attack but have been poor this season. So it's a tough one. It's a tough match to call. Maybe 1-1.
Yep. But easily, if let's say West Ham affected by traveling, coming back from Denmark, is it? And then straight
Mm.
to Everton, it's a long trip. And then Everton really, crowd will be behind them at home. So this could be really tight. I will not be shocked if let's say Everton wins this game, and West Ham continue their really uncertainty in terms of their performance early season. So
Yep.
Gordon, one of the player that mentioned that they could actually get in as an enabler in wildcard. I had him most of the time in when he was 4.5. Now he's 5.5, still posing a good stats early this season. Yeah, why not, Gordon? In your wildcard, I don't mind, but there are lots of Madison. Bowen is another one that people are talking, and
Yeah.
Zaha. So maybe those are better than Gordon. Yeah. Okay, man. Let's
Yep.
go to the next one, which is what is the top transfer in and out so far. I just stepped short this before coming into our stream. The most transfer in is Mr. Trippier. At 689,000 has bring him in, especially on wildcard. And if you're or doing your normal transfer, Trippier is number one. Then KDB, like I mentioned, second most transfer in, 579,000 managers has replace him supposedly for Salah on the other side. You can see later. Pope is another guy from Newcastle, double up. Trippier and Pope, 526,000 managers bring him in. Mitrovic and Isaac is at fourth and five. That combo up front, partnering with Haaland. Trio, we call it. Now Haaland, Mitrovic, and Isak going to form um, three men up front for wildcard draft especially. On the transfer out, Salah and TAA, and also Luis Diaz. Those are the three players that I have. Those are the top three most transfer out this week. 853,000 managers, 651,000 managers, and 369,000 managers as brought out the Liverpool assets. Gross, Brighton did not play. The Brighton fixture going to swing after this. He's also been transferred out, 330,000 managers. And then Jesus, although he plays Brentford, but to cater for wildcard and then Arsenal fixture swing, and then he Arsenal blank in game week 12. All those factors has proven shows that Jesus are on the top five transfer out this week. So what do you can make up from this transfer in and out, man?
Okay, so it's quite insane that Jesus is there in the transfers sold out, because, but you're right. If many people have activated a wild card, maybe they feel they can risk not having him against Brentford, even though um it seems like a good matchup given the powerful Arsenal form. However, I if was would the situation have been different if Arsenal had won against Manchester United in game week 6? So it may well, but the fact that they lost 3-1 to Manchester United as at Arsenal suggests Arsenal are not as strong as we thought we were.
and
Mm.
maybe people are realizing that Jesus might not be the right option. But again, I think it's quite I feel quite foreign talking about this frontline situation because it's not a problem that we had last season, so it's quite interesting. And and it's not, you got the cheapos like Mitrovic, but you got the expensive guys like Haaland and Jesus, all fighting for attention, and this week Kane as well. um so other than that, okay. Now, in terms of, so that one aside, Liverpool, yes, no surprises with them not playing. In fact, Jesus is the one player in that top five who is playing, and he's of the top five transfer. Everyone else, you can justify they're not playing this week. Of course they get dropped. Yeah, but again, as you mentioned earlier, maybe they're trying to fund money finding space, not so much as funding money for other players because, or unless they buy Kane, but Kane doesn't appear in the top transfers. So
Mm.
maybe it's not about funding; it's just finding space. And so they're selling Jesus for maybe Isaac, for example. Isaac would be the one most, because if you look 30,000 transfers out and Isaac transfers in is 28K, so maybe sorry, 28K plus 200,
279,000,
200,
yeah.
yeah, 280K. So yeah, Isaac is the flavor this week. So yeah, so finally KDB bringing them in. So yes, and I didn't reap much rewards with having him instead of Haaland. And now everyone is bringing him in. So Mitrovic still a good portion of people bringing him in, and despite the past few weeks, I think people have kept bringing him in, and yet now there's still a sizable portion still don't have him yet. So well. And you mentioned earlier Trippier. Yep, no, comes to no surprise that he's one of the top transfers this game week. So that's three Newcastle players in the top transfers, top five.
Yep.
With the
Salah
two.
for Salah for KDB, TA for Trippier, those kind of move they are doing.
Yeah, you definitely have
And
good money there.
after seeing again so far on the um, total owned by managers, Jesus still around 70%, even though he's in this top five move transfer out.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
still high ownership. Salah dropped now to 35% ownership. KDB has now around 35% ownership. So he's actually at
Okay,
par with
yeah,
Salah,
yeah. So to be fair, the difference is quite a huge difference between the top transfer out, which is Salah at 850,000, and Jesus at only 300,000. So there's a difference of 550,000 transfers. So yeah. So I guess Jesus still has high ownership despite
Yep.
still being in the
And
top
and
five.
Trippier is now owned by more managers than TAA, mean Trippier at 44% owned and TAA only at 36% right now. So that's how volatile has been. Trippier is now,
Otherwise,
I must
sorry.
say,
Yeah,
Trippier could be the most owned defender by managers right now. Not TAA anymore.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just quickly, we go to the bus team for game week 8. We can see there managers, our final selection by scout picks. Pope and Trippier are in the lineup there. Romero from Spurs, Zuma from West Ham, Cancelo is there. Odegaard, Arsenal, KDB is the main man in midfield alongside Martinelli. And then we know Mitrovic, but then Kane is there and Haaland. So it's a premium pick for this week. So what do you think, Min? If I'm not sure whether if you're Wakadi, you can fit these three player, but without TAA on site, yeah, you could have a lot of money and fit these people. What do you think? You're on mute, Min.
Oh, sorry. Because most people had TAA and Salah. So who TAA is being sold for is Trippier. But if those who already had Trippier, maybe that's why you got Zuma there. Yeah, which is a surprise, a difference. Neck. So, but other than that, it's pretty much strong. Yeah, and you can see Mitrovic, Kane, Haaland. So yeah, Jesus needs to make space now with Kane coming in, and Kane's an expensive guy. So yeah, two Arsenal midfielders. Odegaard, Odegaard's not the most explosive player, when you look at him play, but somehow he's involved, and he's been doing well. I think there was once he scored two goals already. So yeah, definitely one to watch, and still quite cheap comparatively.
Yep, yep, good stuff. So let's go to our transfer plan, main. Maybe you go first because you already made your transfer.
Okay, so oh, I need to share my
Yep.
squad, don't
Okay.
I? Sorry, hang on. Give me give me 1 minute. I forgot to share. Let me just zoom it so that you can see it properly. It's too big. Oh, sorry. Okay, so yep, what Hafiz mentioned is right. I have made my transfers. Can you see my screen yet? No.
Not yet.
Okay, so I have made my transfers. I okay, so I'll quickly go through. Can you see it now?
Yep, yep.
Okay. Sorry, this is my transfer window. So let me just go to my team because it'll be clearer. Okay, so Henderson at the back, Patterson, Trippier, Williams. So all these three players are there, and Patterson has been doing decently, and I've he's never been in my starting 11. I've never intentionally put him
He
inside
got
it.
his chance now.
Yeah, so now he comes in. So it depends. Can Everton keep their strong defense up? Now I'm putting an Everton player. Then watch them concede five. Anyway, so Trippier, who I'm already have, and Williams. So I forgot we didn't talk about just now with Forest acquiring one additional player, which is Sergio Aurier, who was available as a free agent. So he is there as a right back as well, which is where Nico Williams is. But I mean, the backstory is that he's there to provide competition rather than actually really take over immediately. But we'll see. But it's still early for him, I think. So even if I'm wrong, he won't immediately start here. Okay, so Nico Williams it is. I'm comfortable. So
I
Ward
still feel Nico.
Prowse.
I still feel
Sorry?
Nico is going to start.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ward Prowse is a new addition. So if you remember last, but I've been holding on to Rodrigo last
Yep,
in
yep,
the previous game week, and the time comes to get rid of him, and I brought in Ward Prowse. Okay, so Villa, sure they had a heroic show against a City, but their defensive issues still remain, and I've
yep,
gone for Ward Prowse there as a bit of a punt, but Ward Prowse he did well in the first couple of matches, so he may still do well.
yep,
Okay, so Andreas, uh, for Fulham, KDB, Martinelli, and a second addition is Foden. So I had two free transfers, as most people did, because of the blank game week. So Foden comes in, and Foden is brought in for Salah.
yep,
So yeah, and which means that I don't have Cancelo because I'm funding the money to bring in Kane, who I have captained as well for this week. So Tony's the last for my starting 11, and I'm happy to have him back, and let's see how they go against Arsenal. So that's it. That's my exact playing 11. If anyone disappears, I'm not gonna be able to get any replacements because everyone else is on the bench. So obviously I've kept TAA,
yep.
who I feel is still has some life in him. I think
Okay.
Klopp just needs to give him a slap to remind him, just because you got no competition for your position doesn't mean you can you know just spend 90 minutes just slugging away. You need to
Yep.
still perform.
I
Yeah.
feel you need to take your chance this week. Haaland might score, but Kane could actually run riot against Leicester. Captaining him is, I think, if you're on the right side, it could actually be explosive. I like your Foden and what prospect Foden could be
Yeah,
coming into my team later. And you took -4, right,
I
for to
took
do this
minus
move.
four hits, so I brought three
So
transfers in.
Yep, yep. You can play 11. I think you should hold your wildcard definitely. And
Yep.
you should maybe thinking of wildcard next week. So everything is good with you.
Yep.
Um,
Good to go.
let's go to my team. What's my move will be? Let's share my screen. It's been a while I'm sharing my screen.
Because usually it's on your slides.
Can you see?
Yep, I can see it.
All right. So you can see this my team. Okay. If
Can you
I go to here,
yeah, I want to see how many.
so I actually can only like
7.
seven. One, Ryan, Nico Williams, Cancelo, Andreas, Martinelli, Jesus, and Haaland. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Right. One, two, three,
Yep.
four, five, six, seven. Yep. Cucurella not playing. So I have two free transfer. I'm going to take a hit and bring three players and play 10 players only this week, which I feel is fine. Okay. And maybe not ideal as 11 like Azmin has right, just now. But I think 10 is good. My thinking is to bring in replacing Greenwood with Kane like you. I think we should take this opportunity because people would definitely have KDB as their main asset or premium asset this week. If you have like three players like Haaland, KDB, and also Kane, if you can fit them all, then uh, good for you. But for
Yep.
me, I think Kane could be um, a differential this week because it's only owned by I think 20% managers, still low. And then
Mm.
I take out Salah to fund Kane move and down him with we shall see. I have a few options. Okay, man.
Yep.
Um, Salah out, Greenwood
Bye.
out. Okay, bring in Kane. Okay, and here I could be bringing like I mentioned, Foden or Kulusevski. I think those are the two options that I'm gonna pick. But I shot by point three, but no issue. I just dropped TA and get Trippier. Those are the both I'm gonna
Mm.
make. But just Trippier, I think Kane is mostly confirmed. Foden
Yep.
against Kulusevski. What do you think?
Foden. I bought in Foden, so yeah, I would think. Um, gosh, it's hard, isn't it?
We are not
It's
sure
not.
who's going to start, but we're pretty sure Kulusevski going to start, right? And against Leicester, and I can
Yeah,
remember Kulusevski scored double-digit points on the first week, but I'm
yeah.
not sure about the rest.
It sucks that you can't pick Richarlison, can you?
Richardson is a forward right now, 8.5.
Exactly, that's the
Yeah,
thing. Richarlison's a forward, so it's like otherwise, you know, he could be explosive. Ah,
yeah. If I see here Kulusevski, just a quick one. Where is he?
it's a pity.
Kulusevski only scored 13 points on first week. Then after that, he's not really performing, man. In terms
Yeah,
of Foden, just a quick see. He also has not any double digit point Foden. Only like maybe a couple of assists.
yeah. I
Assists.
think
So
he's due. I think he's due though. Gosh. So we'll
yep.
see. That's it. Are you gonna confirm?
I think so. I think this is the move that I'm gonna make. Make transfer. Change transfer. Yeah.
Change? What are you changing?
Yeah, I already made my transfer.
You don't know. You haven't made transfer.
Oh, I haven't made my transfer, is it?
No, no, no. You said change transfer, so you went back to the screen. So make transfers.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, yeah. Go back, go back. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
You
okay,
you've got
select
another.
clip here.
Okay, you got another. Oh, okay, okay. Go on.
Trippier.
I'll wait.
Then I pick
Kane.
Foden, and then Kane. Yep. And then make transfer, and then confirm transfer.
Confirm. Don't want to take the hit, Very hard for you.
Yep. Kane is here. It's gonna be into my team.
You don't
So
have to
yeah,
shuffle it. You can leave him on the bench. He'll come in.
yeah, I know, but this more proper. Yeah, I think
Yeah, I know.
is Ireland captain. I just wanna make sure I got
Oh
the
yeah.
captain right.
Who did I vice captain? Oh,
You can
KDB. Okay,
vice
fine.
Kane, which is okay.
Yeah,
I think Kane could be me, but most likely I'm gonna keep Haaland as captain. If
of
let's say Haaland
course.
did not play, then Kane could be my vice captain. But there you go. That's my team.
Yep. Good though. Good though.
All right, man. Maybe we
Yep.
go to some question.
Sure.
We have
Yes. Let's do
we have
this.
SK. My market is pretty much set except one place. Yes, one place to pick. Do I go Bowen, Bailey, and hold them? LT is what? Later is it?
Yeah.
Or on Kulu? Oh, but you're on Wildcard, right? I'm not sure about Pan on Kulu. And move to Medicine next week. Do I go Bowen and Bailey? I suppose.
Bailey looks better at this stage, I guess. Yeah. You the punt on Kulu is because of course, there's a bit of uncertainty whether he'll start, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um.
If you're not wildcard and you can punt Kulu this week and wildcard next week, then I think it's okay. But punting Kulu and next week to Madison, you can do that. But Madison at the same time maybe could actually play and score against Spurs. As we know, Leicester is still a decent side and can score against anyone. Madison has proved that. So that's
So
what I
Med
feel. Man.
So rather than punt the Kulu, just go to Madison immediately against Spurs. I don't know. Yeah, that does. I mean, obviously Madison is one of the main performers in Leicester's troublesome season so far. But yeah, this week, I probably get Bailey. It seems like his starting position seems to be more secure now, given he's a bit more consistently performing than the rest. So. I
Yep,
with Bowen not still not firing, I'd go Bailey.
yep. Bowen still okay. Bowen, Bailey, uh, but Madison still feel good. People are going to bring him in anyway, so I think that's what our comment is.
Okay.
Corner Dolan High wildcard or free hit this week. I think it's still depending on your team. Not sure what we can advise more. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like if you have gaps in your team for this week, then maybe a free hit is the way to. But if you have a lot of gaps this week, but then the following game week your team looks really good, then maybe the free hit is the way to go. Yeah, but other circumstances, then probably a wild card is better, so you
yep,
can
yep. Like
plan ahead.
some rules we mentioned in midweek. If let's say we have like less than eight and less player, I feel
Yeah,
I think maybe you're good to wildcard. If you can feel at least 10-9, maybe you can hold 10 minimum, I suppose. I think so, like mine. I have 10, Azmi have 11. Okay, good. But taking hits, I take hits and also play 10 players. I think it's still fine. And then you wildcard next week. Free hit
so
could be a much better chip to play somewhere along the season. The season is still long, man.
yeah,
If we are only in game week 8 and game week 7 need to be replayed somewhere in future. So
yeah.
there's plenty of
So I
time.
don't know. I don't know what you're planning to, Connor, in terms of game week 9. But the question now is, if you wildcard now and it's the international break and a lot of random things can happen during the international break, are you gonna wildcard again after the international break? Because to be fair, we've seen there seems to be a lot of people speculating and planning on doing it, but it all depends on your team.
Yep. Next question, Shafiq Hafiz. Hi. Tony Blank. He already jinxed Tony, man. But people
Okay,
are
Shafiq, we'll
bringing
see
in.
you. We'll let's reconnect in the next midweek, and let's see how it goes. So, Hafiz, note down Shafiq. We'll see
but,
you.
but anyway, people are bringing Isaac and Mitrovic on the wildcard right now. Not Tony so much, but if you have Tony against Arsenal is tough. But we roll our dice, right? Like you're gonna do. I mean,
Yep, yep. Keep on playing, keep on risking.
okay. Rakan
Move on.
FPL, he already mentioned about Rail Strike in Game Week 9. There is rumors
Okay.
already, but I don't want to complicate things of what game could postpone. We still have international break and after that. So this is something that we maybe need to alert, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure, man.
Yep. So the question is again, this involves some London teams. Okay, I can just say that it's Chelsea versus Spurs and Chelsea versus Palace and Arsenal versus Spurs. So we don't. So those are the games that are potentially affected, but will it be affected? We don't know. Um, I, who knows? We can't. We can't. There's no way of knowing really for sure what's
Yeah,
going on there. But
yeah.
it is something to at least be careful
Yeah,
about.
if not mistaken, one other match also could actually jeopardize if this happens. Fulham against not sure who. They are also playing in London.
Oh gosh, how did I forget that?
So,
Yeah,
but
Fulham playing Fulham. Okay, so this is even shocking. Fulham versus Newcastle, who a lot of people may have suddenly have three assets there, and
so
of course people
so
have Mitrovic on the other side. So that's
yep.
quite a significant.
Means
Uh,
this. I don't know if you're wildcarding right now. I don't think you should complicate taking those into accounts. You're not certain, but
yeah,
for people who are going to wildcard in game week 9, they could have advantage if let's say this happens. Like me, I'm not too sure. Yep.
yeah, because it's it's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, it's dangerous to worry too much about it, but
Yep.
if you have that wild card in place, it will at least. I mean, gosh, look at that. I mean, you got Spurs. So many people already have bringing in a Spurs player, and obviously people have at least two Arsenal players. Yeah, then Crystal Palace, Chelsea, not so much, but Fulham versus Newcastle, definitely. If what you say is correct,
If you're
so
wildcat now, most likely you're going to bring a Chelsea asset and Zaha could be.
yeah, so it's
I don't know. I
wildcard
don't know
now.
what to
No,
think.
wildcard now. You can't bring a Chelsea asset. You wildcard now. You wouldn't, or unless you
You
put.
bring you one Chelsea and bench them this week.
Oh,
That's what people
unless you
do.
stick him
Yeah.
on the bench. So, gosh, but again, it's hard to tell, and you probably need to just keep it in view, but not to worry too much again
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. I don't want to think this yet, but there's something that people are already mentioning. Next, hi Brian, Sun. Brian gonna bring Sun into his team, I suppose. We finally bring home the points. This could be the week for Sun to perform. It might well be, man. It could be.
Well, Brian, may the force be with you. But
Yeah,
you're right. Son needs some time. I don't know whether I haven't read about whether he's he's called up for the international break. Whether he'll play and how the Korean matches are. But yeah, it'd be nice to him to stop, finish off the league for now and for a win, and then go to his team because the team could use his inspiration too.
yeah. Brian gonna captain Sun this week, man. So
Uh,
okay. All the
yeah,
best.
if good risk portfolio there, well done. But yeah, I mean, because if I'm captaining Kane, that if you don't have Kane, then if you have Son,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you'd think that Spurs will perform.
All right, man. I think we come to the end
That's
of the
it.
show. The stream,
Yeah.
we already finished it. We already passed the 1 hour mark. We
Okay,
already
so
finalized our team.
it's about 24 minutes to the deadline,
Yep,
isn't it?
yep, yep,
Yep.
yep,
So all the
yep.
best.
Yep, Min. All the best to you. To you also, Min. We already finalized your team. I already finalized my team just now. We
Okay,
wish
I
all the best. Okay, but just to remind everyone, especially on wildcard, you still have a lot, like 25 minutes, is it, to
yep.
finalize your team. Okay, and your last word, man.
Yeah, Hafiz, for both our sakes, I hope there's not any sudden last minute news that says our players are in doubt. Otherwise, then
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
trouble. But all the best is in this shorter, slightly shorter game week with less teams. That wild card choices you make, hopefully it will work out for you long term. And on my side, I'm just hoping that I can reduce the gap between you and me a
Yep,
bit
yep.
more. Yeah,
That's
so we'll
plenty,
see.
plenty of times. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, man. Last word from me. Good luck to everyone. All the best. Okay. And may the force be with you. Take care, guys. See you next after international break. Bye bye.
Bye. Take care.